Cancer, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This will take you from the 11th to the 18th of September. And just give me a minute. Cancer, it's really funny because you look at a reading and you get the theme. And I'm looking at your reading and I'm not really seeing the theme for your week, okay? That's okay. There's definitely quite a lot of joy around though, because at the bottom of the deck you've got the Sun card. So the Sun card is the most positive card in the whole deck. It's about joy, celebration, self-actualization. It's about exuberance and joy, basically. So it hardly sort of matters what the theme is, because as an overall sense of happiness. Your crowning card is the Six of Cups, so this could be a reconciliation card, but it's much deeper than that. The Six of Cups, essentially it's about getting what you want, and this getting what you want is bringing incredible joy to you. I think for some Cancers there could be a reconciliation, or you've been working towards some sort of goal and that goal is coming true. Your additional guidance card is Message in a Bottle, so that's about hearing. You could be hearing news from someone. You could be waiting on some sort of contact, and this contact is coming your way, okay? Which can be but reconciliation, getting what you want, and the Sun is always an overriding sense of not to worry, because you do have the Nine of Swords, so there is some worry going on for you, and the Sun is always about not worrying. But let's start your reading, okay, to see if I can make sense of this. You start the week dealing with authority because you've got the Hierophant. The Hierophant, I'm going to say, Cancer, is my least understood card, okay, but what it represents is establishment, authority. It can be anything: a school system, a hospital system, the work system. It's about external power, okay, and external authority. And it's with the Three of Wands, so you could be waiting on something to do with this Hierophant. I have no idea. You could be waiting for your ships to come in. You could be waiting on news regarding some establishment. Waiting on, waiting on a message. You could be waiting to hear about a job offer, an acceptance level, something like that. These two together is a sense of waiting for something, and it's to do with an establishment. So the nearest example I've got would be waiting for a job offer, okay, but it's something like that. Well, the power is in someone else's hands, and you're more in this waiting energy, okay, which actually describes both these cards quite perfectly. But don't forget, the Six of Cups is pretty much success is guaranteed card. So if you're waiting on news, it's definitely a very positive week. Right next to it is a Temperance card, so you've been asked to work towards emotional balance, because it's with the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is a very, very vague energy. It can be about being very, very unfocused. Sometimes it feels like there's too many options. You don't know which one to choose. You might not be very clear about the way forward. But Temperance is the major, and the major arcanas always win, because they're the spiritual themes and the spiritual lessons, and you're being nudged towards finding this middle path, Cancer, where you're not going to any extremes of behaviour. It's also listening to your emotions, particularly your guts, where the fire is. What's your instincts telling you about the way forward? What's the instincts telling you about the Seven of Cups, which can be quite a vague, confusing energy? Just give me a minute. I'm just looking at these 4 cards, and there's definitely a sense of waiting for something, and you've been asked to work towards balance when you're waiting. I'd pretty much say with these 2 cards, though, success is guaranteed for any Cancers who are waiting on anything. I'd say for these 3 cards, success is guaranteed. But the most important thing, Cancer, is that we're learning our lessons, okay? And you've been asked to work towards emotional balance. So if that's what you've been asked to do, then do it. You then go into a bit of anxiety, which gives me a sense of maybe you're getting anxious around news that you're waiting for, or you're getting anxious around what the 6 of Cups or what the Sun represents, because you get the 9 of Swords with the 4 of Swords. So 9 of Swords is anxiety. We are projecting fear onto the future. Basically, that's what anxiety is. It's that classic sort of PSD energy where we project something that happened in the past onto the screen of the future, which is basically what anxiety is, okay? So you're worried about something here, Cancer. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's probably to do with whatever the 3 of Wands means, whatever that Sun means, whatever that 6 of Cups means, but there's worry here. And it's with the 4 of Swords. So this worry could be making you feel really depleted. The 4 of Swords can represent a very depleted energy, because essentially you've depleted your resources through worry. So you might be exhausted and needing to retreat. Try not, Cancer, on Thursday. Say example, this is Thursday's energy. Go into a place of total withdrawal, that all you're doing is worrying, because all you're doing is wasting this precious life, basically, because it's not going to resolve anything here. So you then move on to the Knight of Cups, some sort of victory, hearing some emotional good news, okay? So hopefully, whatever it is that you're worrying about, by the end of the week, the message is coming through and you're hearing some emotional good news. I've got no idea what this reading's about, Cancer. But Knight of Cups represents someone who's been through a bit of a dark night, but who's came through it, okay? Because look, he's holding the Grail and he's won, which means he's overcame some of his own personal shadow and some of his own personal fears. It's with the 8 of Discs, which is the work card. So you're working hard, working through the night. This is you focused on maybe finishing some sort of project or just working hard. Now just give me a minute, Cancer. I'm really trying to get a sense of your reading. Because the overall theme is the Sun and the 6 of Cups, okay? This is really clear. This is about joy, getting what you want, getting what you need, hearing good news, okay? There's just no way around it. But there seems to be a point in the week that you're going to be potentially going into fear and anxiety, okay? So what I say about anxiety is, whatever you're thinking, do you want that in your future? And if you don't, Cancer, you're going to have to find a way of getting control over your anxiety. So your way of getting control might be just to sleep, to rest, to withdraw a little bit, and that's fine, that's good, whatever works for you. But you seem to be ending the week on that sense of victory again, of being the winner, of being successful and overcoming the odds to win through. So, interesting week, and definitely a waiting energy. There's a bit of emotional vagueness, and you've been called to temperance. So you've been called to work for balance, to work for being in quite a stable position. So don't get carried away with the vagueness of the Seven of Cups, because it can lead you down just pointless alleyways, and all you've done is depleted your resources, okay, your emotions, and maybe that's what's creating the anxiety and the exhaustion. So a bit of a confusing week. It might make sense to whoever's watching if you're waiting on news, okay? It might be something to do with this Hierophant, a job interview, a contract, something to do with education, anything, housing. I'm not sure what it is. My advice is stick with this Sun and the Six of Cups to realise that you're going to be the winner, okay? You're hitting the sweet spot, you're getting what you want, the sun is shining, and try not lose yourself in anxiety or too much confusion, because it's going to exhaust you, Cancer. And I think that's why the Four of Swords is showing up. Someone who needs to retreat because they've depleted their energy so much. The outcome is good news coming your way, particularly emotional good news. And the Eight of Discs is working hard, focusing and concentrating. Okay, Cancer, I hope this helped in any way, and I'll see you next week. Bye.